Cleveland, Ohio, LeBron James played nearly the entire first quarter, scoring or assisting on 19 of the Cleveland Cavaliers' first 22 points, before heading to the bench for his usual breather. The Cavs were trailing by 14 at IMN at the time, typically an ominous sign. In past years, the lead might have swelled with him as spectator. Not this season. Not with this revamped bench. "Thank God for our bench tonight, which was great," head coach Tyronn Lue said following the 119-112 come-from-behind win. "They bailed us out, and we talked about that in the locker room. They came in and played great because we had a slow start again, and we can't continue to keep doing that." Cavs bench wins game over the Bulls. By the time James returned from his 5-minute rest, the Cavs bench had trimmed the Chicago lead to just 6 points, just the beginning of a huge night. "The bench won us the game," James said. "They get the game ball for sure. Jeff Green came in and gave us a lift when we needed it. D. Wade came in and got into his rhythm, into his flow of the game, and made some great passes. You could see what Kyle Korver was able to do in that third and in that fourth, and then Channing Frye came in as well and gave us some great minutes and one and a pin down for a layup as well. Our bench was very good tonight, and that's the reason we won the game." Green was the catalyst, finishing with 16 points on 4 of 6 from the field and 7 of 8 from the free throw line, attacking the Bulls in the half-court and transition. Lue and other veterans have urged Green to be aggressive, to look for his scoring opportunities, especially when he's playing with the bench mob. That's exactly what he did against Chicago. "It's a luxury to have that. Not a lot of teams have a Jeff Green coming off their bench, a guy that can get 15 any given night for us," Wade said. "He's playing multiple lineups right now. He's playing with LeBron, he's playing with us. He's playing with different guys. But he's figuring out his role. He did a great job tonight." For Green, it's his second game scoring in double figures. He's the team's fourth leading scorer this season, averaging 9.8 points on 48% from the field. Signed for the veterans minimum this offseason on a team with a glut of wings, it wasn't entirely clear what his role would be initially. He was coming off the worst year of his career. But his ties with Lue helped him earn a spot. And his unique combination of size, athleticism, and versatility has led to him becoming a staple of Lue's tight 10-man rotation, the first player off the bench against Chicago. "We know every game our job is to play hard, bring effort, be aggressive and play as a team," Green told Cleveland.com about the new look second unit's identity. "We take a lot of pride in our role, what we do. We know that we are capable of doing great things out there on the court, so we're going to go out there and play the best of our abilities and do it together." Wade moved to a reserve role after struggling in the first 3 games as starter, was the maestro. With the ball in his hands, running high pick and rolls and getting a few post-up opportunities, Wade was back in his comfort zone. "It was good to get out there in a positive lineup for this team after that team over there came out on fire," Wade said. "Kind of back to what I'm used to, having the ball, being able to make plays, and being able to get to my sweet spots." In just his 12th career appearance off the bench, Wade scored a season-high 11 points on 5 of 7 from the field to go with 4 assists, second most behind James. He only played 19 minutes, but that was by design, to keep the 35-year-old swingman fresh for the second game of a back-to-back Wednesday night in Brooklyn. Most nights, he will be the anchor of the talented group that features 5 players with an abundance of starting experience. Even Channing Frye was called on early, yanking off his warm-ups for a surprise entrance with 3:56 remaining in the first quarter. Before the season, Lue had to apologize to the big man, letting him know there wasn't a spot for him in the usual rotation, underlining the increased depth. Still, Lue told him to be ready. Then during Tuesday's shoot-around, knowing Tristan Thompson would be swapped into the starting lineup because of Chicago's front line featuring burly Robin Lopez, Lue approached Frye and let him know his opportunity was coming later in the night. In 7 minutes, Fry scored 8 points on 3 of 3 from the field and 1 of 1 from three-point range. He even had a pair of layups, a rarity for a player who spends most of his time lurking around the perimeter. I made 1 3 and obviously knew they weren't going to let me do that again, so I had to go down there, and you saw the left-hand filet-o-fish. For me it's just playing basketball, Fry said. When you play with these guys it's so easy. It's like if you show I'm going to roll, and if you ice me, I'm going pop back. Other than that I'm going to pass back to the guy who shoots like 97% from the three-point line. It's easy. My job is to be ready, be a professional, and I'm having fun watching them, helping them out, telling them what I see, and when I go out there just play with energy. The other two members of Tuesday's second unit were Iman Shumpert, who had a quiet 14-minute night, and Kyle Korver, who scored 11 points and buried 3 of the Cavs' 16 triples. They've been key for us already this season, Kevin Love said. It's still too early to definitively say this iteration of the Cavaliers is better than last year's, a group that advanced to a third straight NBA Finals appearance. However, the early returns at the very least show a much deeper squad. On Tuesday, the second unit tallied a season-high 46 points on 16 of 26 shooting and 5 of 11 from beyond the arc, to go with 9 assists and 87 productive minutes. Only Shumpert had a negative plus-minus. Small sample size to be sure, but Cleveland's bench is averaging 40.2 points, which ranks top 10 in the NBA. Last season, the Seesaw Group averaged 28.3 points, the league's third-worst scoring unit. Improving the bench was a point of emphasis for new general manager Kobe Altman this summer, especially after the reserves were outscored by 28 points in decisive Game 5 of the finals. In just a few short months, after myriad moves, one of the Cavs' biggest flaws is suddenly giving them an advantage, just like Tuesday. If the first team is struggling, it's our job to pick it up, Wade said. If they're playing well, it's our job to maintain. It's very important. Look at good teams, look at Golden State, their bench, there's never a drop. That's where we want to get to where there's not a drop at all. We obviously have a lot of work to do, it's our first time playing together in that unit. But I like what I saw.